Greetings, everyone. I had a anniversary party. You can see one of my guests right there. Say hi. Hi. And I completely missed BlizzCon. I just saw pictures pop up in my feed and was like, "Oh God, what happened?" And apparently there is this trailer, The War Within. I saw the thumbnail and the title. Two things went through my mind. First, I was right about Terralion, and Terralion starts to fuck up the Alliance, and with TLDR, what was his face again? Garrosh 2.0. Pandaria 2.0, kind of. Since it's the war within, more in secrecy, and we prevent maybe a war from happening. Who knows? Second, because the boy was held, like the Boy King, it was pretty obviously him because he was holding Charlemagne. However, what happened to his face? What happened to his hair? That was my first reaction. So, since that was shown, maybe it's the internal turmoil and his, like, development into whatever is coming. Then I saw the flash screen on the Blizzard thingy with a logo, and I was like, wait, this is an entire expansion, and I feel like I feel like that's too soon. I need more Dragonflight in my life. That's too soon. So, judging by how the design of that globe was behind World of Warcraft, it may be also some internal Azeroth stuff, and maybe there's even an entire thing of, like, the Dragonflight expansion. We never really face Iridikron, and now, like, it delves into where Iridikron's plans went, which would be one of the first expansions where we start off with one bad guy being the main bad guy and keep him for an extended period of time. Like, Gul'dan didn't really count in Warlords of Draenor because he wasn't the main focus for most of it. It was kind of forgotten in between. And then it turned out, oh, he kicks off the next expansion and stuff like that. So I don't know what's coming for us. I just want to get my theories, my thoughts out there before I watch anything apart from a thumbnail and a flash screen on the Blizzard app. And now I start watching this announced cinematic, which there's apparently more videos. I scrolled through my timeline and saw some more, and I saw a Void Elven face on a thumbnail, and I was like, excuse you? Is that who I think it is? Anyway, let's start. Yeah, that's Anduin, alright. If that's not Anduin, I'm gonna eat a brick. Hold on, let me also just hide my shame. Let me hide my shame. Oh, he's more blonde than he looked. But the beard is dark because that's what beards do. God, look at that! That's just straight up an actor at this point. A real human. That is a straight... You can't... That's the soul of Azeroth. You can't tell me that's not a real human that will got mocapped at the very least. Oh.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide. Is that it?
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
You didn't just come here for me. It's the visions. You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately.
Visions? What, Azeroth?
Something, someone, is calling out from the heart of the world. Like a voice from a dream. Something dark is coming, Anduin. The world needs your light again. My son.
I am not that person anymore! I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done!
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
Emotional moment interrupted by the way, there's something
They're getting worse. Look, whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall? Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
Yo! No shot! Oh my god! The World Soul Saga? That sounds more like just one expansion. Huh?
I mean, you know how much I still have to catch up.
Yeah, he has to catch up by a frick ton.
Yeah, like starting at 0, like.
So, oh my, okay. So we do 100% know. Not everyone is aware of Azeroth, the World Soul. Apparently. I mean, we knew that from the Dragonflight, that not everyone is aware, that only a couple people are aware, but, like, Thrall, I think, is aware, and he's like, I'm not sure if it's Azeroth, but I'm thinking it's Azeroth. I think that's what he said, because I think he did learn that tidbit, and we had Magni Bronx about shouting it from the top of his lungs for ages, so... I love that emotional moment between Thrall and Anduin. Being like, hey boy, we have gone through similar things, but different reasons. And Anduin, I mean, he was really freaking young at the time when his father died, and then he got possessed by the jailer and all that stuff. And even though we all want to retcon Shadowlands, because it didn't really do justice the whole story arc that was planned with Anduin, and a lot of other things. I do like that he had that story, that like an approximation to that story arc, and he was forced to do. He was literally turned into Arthas for an extended period of time and forced to do things he didn't want to, and obviously his like belief in the light and all that made the impact larger, I guess, because like as a religious person, if you start killing off gods or it's the equivalent to, you tend to get messed up. Like, for example, when we killed Loa in Zuldazar, no one thought it was a like we players were like, yeah, sure, we killed like godlike creatures before, but the others were like, Jesus fucking criminal, what the fuck did you do? That was dwarvish accent, but they were trolls, but you know what I mean. Like they were completely gutturally affected by that. But yeah, so Azeroth is calling out for aid. Freaking Magni's voice lines echoing in our brains yet again. And that sword was at someone. Yeah, it's Azeroth. It's something dark is coming. I'm assuming the Void. That's the only big bad that we still know is kind of out there, because we know the old gods were, after all, just minions of the realm thing, the elemental power of the Void. World Soul Saga. That really sounds like it's gonna be more than just this expansion. It sounds like there will be more to this than just an expansion if their plans go according, which didn't happen always. We know that. There's like the whole Titan system in Cataclysm that was announced and never happened, and other things, but like this looks like they're aiming to tell a story over multiple expansions, which, since Chris Mattson is back, very possible. I just love the emotional scene. The emotional scene with Anduin. And I always just was, like... It's not really a fanboy. It's more a fan dad of Anduin. Like, ever since he showed up in Pandaria, I was like, come here, boy. Come here. I'll protect you. And seeing this development is... pumping blood through my veins. This is... I mean, they were in a desert, and I was like, okay, where could this be? This could be Tanaris, but and all those parts. But that sword was aimed at someone, and that reveal, finally, we're gonna do something about this freaking sword that has been stuck in our planets for canonically at least 8 years by now, maybe. Ish. Is there more? Did I pause prematurely? Okay, just pre-purchase. That is an expansion reveal, which scares me because I like Dragonflight so much. I don't want it to end. Since it's all magic, they will definitely find a way to make a Titan leave the planet without completely tearing it into shreds. Like the writers of Blizzard, I mean, will find a way. To have the Titan out there, but we also continue partying on the world. We don't know what it does completely to a world. But Argus might have been an edge case because he was literally, the egg was peeled open and he was ripped out. That might have been, like, that is very indicated. But this seems world-shattering. If we get another world overhaul, I will drool. But let's watch the other trailers. Let's watch the other things. So I went here onto videos and I saw this face and I was like, that's with audio description, Cataclysm announcement trailer. I mean, fair. Honestly, I don't really care about Cataclysm as a classic reveal, if I'm fully honest. Though I would like to see this trailer because it looks gorgeously and amazingly animated. I still have not witnessed anything of the patch that's still coming up. And if we have the normal patch cycle, and I guess Shadowlands only had 2 patches as well, right? Wait, the Emerald Dream, the final patch? That makes no sense. I thought there was another patch gonna happen, but we think about it. Huh, now that I completely think about it, yeah, we had 2 patches, like 2 major patches per expansion. Oh no, I hate that. I hate that. I want one more big patch for Dragonflight. Come on, please. Anyway, the War Within features overview for that's the trailer that's like animated and stuff. Let's see what's all this.
My visions are not the same as the others.
Void. Straight up.
No radiance. No song. Just the shadow taunting me.
Okay. Underground areas, and I knew there was more under there. Oh, okay. Sorry that I'm stopping, but we saw the artifact that Iridicron had. We saw a Void Elf, and we see like a Nerubian and stuff like that. Oh, sorry.
From below.
Zone Azkahet! Let's go! That's an entire zone! New zone, Isle of Dorn. Oh. New zone, the Ranging Deeps. New zone, Hallowfall. Okay, what is all... Whoa! Whoa! What was that? Dive into delves. Whatever delves are. Forge your warband. Master hero talents. Uncover Earth and allied race. Yes! Mounts with dynamic flight. Yes! Oh my god! All mounts get this. Conquer new dungeon race. Okay, fair. I'm just reading it out and reacting live because... Okay, what's this? It seems to be a new raid.
The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife. And our battle lies deep within.
That's her! Please tell me we got some eldritch horror out of this. I love that.
For more. Looks like you'll be getting it.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Okay, so, okay, let's deep dive into this because I was just too hyped to not start reacting. Aleria Windrunner of the Void Connection is clear. Then we have Knifey Waifu, who we all saw gonna return at some point. Like, there was built up too much in Battle for Azeroth to know, oh, okay, the all Void and all that stuff is over. This is like there's different, it is a new Cataclysm, like. Because we don't get a new continent, we get multiple new zones. World overhaul. Oh my, yes. And we get like all of the... Are those No, hold on. Now that I think about it, we have only seen the undead equivalent to Ankaraj and Ankahet. But this is Azkahet. So, like, the full kingdom, because in Warcraft 3, we, like, broke down some of the tunnels. And in Wrath of the Lich King, we went through some of the old zones and we still saw Void activity down there and some Void loyalists, so to say, which were like a few. But apparently the kingdom is secretly thriving, so we see alive variants of these guys, which is amazing. Because, like, look at this. This is all Ankahed, Ankaraj, Ankahed, Azul Nerup and stuff like that. Just see these banners, and they look dragonflighty. This zone, the Isle of Dorn. I have no idea what this is. Or might be. It looks extremely dwarvish, and it's the dwarven aesthetic. I was recently flying through, what's the word of it? I was recently flying through the new place, the old place, the Cataclysm area, Twilight Highlands, and I saw like all the like Wildtime and dwarvish like settlements, and was like, oh, why don't we have more dwarven aesthetic like that? Well, apparently we're getting it. Like here, look at this. And you know what? I just realized. A lot of the things I voiced out during my stream. I had the developer of one franchise I was a fan of in my chat once. That's enough. If there's another, I'm gonna lose my shit. Hiveswap, one of the developers, was in my chat in one of my streams.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah? Okay, do more dwarven stuff. Yes. The Ringing Deeps. That seems like underground caverns that by chance are filled with air. And from the architecture, it seems not Titan.
And I mean, I think we all can appreciate when developers take inspiration from wishes from inside the community, and I'm sure you weren't the only one that kind of wanted more.
In certain directions, I think that I voiced a bunch of like common wants and wishes. The problem is, I doubt anyone was in my chat because my average viewer count on streams is like 5. But so I'm assuming that's more it. But like, maybe I'm just too ingrained into World of Warcraft culture and I am able to call things just by the vibe of it.
I mean,
this looks dwarvish. This looks dwarvish. This looks dwarvish.
From all the looks of it, they have answered.
But which is great. But look at this. This looks dwarvish. Like the other zones. So I think those two zones might be connected somehow. The Isle of Dorn. I get a flashback to the island they tried to raid in the books in Ulduar, and like the new Ulduar, where they never managed to fully raid the islands and conquer the islands. But I thought those were the lava giant guys we fight currently. New zone, Hallowfall. This screams Hallowfall. That screams Halloween stuff, but then I saw this humongous crystal in the sky, which I only notice is here as well. Like, look at this town. I love everything about it, and this looks very like.
I mean, if we go by that shift of perspective during that scene just now. And this perspective, that is probably the same one, and it doesn't look all that good if you ask me.
Now I notice
it's the top end of it.
Yeah, it's kind of breaking through the sky. So we get some like basic planes of existence shit again, like for like with Shadowlands, the sky teared open, and this seems to be a big, like a humongous crystal from. Probably the light realm just breaking through the sky.
I mean, if you want to just take another look at the shift of perspective, the small shift of perspective we get in the previous scene.
Mm.
And then compare it to this one that should give you a rough idea of just how ginormous that thing is.
It seems to be about the size of the sword that's in Xal'atath. Which is interesting. Did one of the light guys attempt to stab us? Dive into delves. Those seems to be like small adventures for small groups or like solo groups. Similar to the scenarios, I'm assuming. Like, but mini. Forge your warband. That seems to be like you gain NPCs or players in a like little group. Since it says Forge Your Warband at the direction World of Warcraft has been going recently, I'm assuming this is gonna be NPCs that NPCs as well. I would like that because like okay, they would go into the direction of Final Fantasy 14 with this, where you have like NPCs that accompany you, but World of Warcraft like went there a little bit in Legion and went away from that again. I would like that to have like NPC companions that like
maybe
have
they
their own.
Figured out a way to make it work and are
Like the thing is, I do like
sure that they've reached a point where they can implement it in a functional way.
Yeah, in a way where like it doesn't matter if you have an NPC with you or a player with you. That would be the best, because I would like to have a team, regardless of having the.
While you're getting
this idiot having time to play, or the other idiot that cancelled his World of Warcraft subscription for financial reasons.
I mean, while you're getting hyped about that, I'm just gonna start praying that they don't spaghetti code the AI.
I mean, to be fair, the AI they had for the like the followers so far was pretty okay. So, and if they based it anything off of that, which would be assumable, because why completely start a new code when you have one that's functioning already, that does already half the work?
Because you'd still have to rewrite about half of it for those cases to... Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Anyway, interesting. This really seems though like... like these characters all look like typical player characters with certain gear. Okay, now that I look at this guy, the orc on the left, that is a and oh god, what are the Makar orc, and he looks like a paladin. Druid maybe, but it also might be just Emerald Dream and they keep their class combo thing. I mean, mage, rogue, fair. Are we getting like more paladin variants because light and void are clashing? That would be cool.
Still just like the classic rogue fit.
Master hero talents. That looks very paladin-y, but it might also be warrior. Like this looks like, and uncover earthen allied race. We finally get bearded female dwarves, and it's the least likely. The ones that most likely have no hair because they're stone. Female bearded dwarves have been mainly a D&D thing, right? Female bearded dwarves have been mainly a D&D and
well, I guess
what is
the
it?
Sources differ on that one.
No, it's like D&D mixed with Lord of the Rings, because in World of Warcraft it wasn't usually
Lord of
like
the Rings,
that.
They joked about it for sure, but
no, they actually were shown with beards. They were actually shown with beards.
Needed a moment to remember, but yeah.
But they have crystals sticking out of them. That's so cool. It's just odd to me that they choose these dwarves. I mean, I guess the other dwarven ladies will receive the option to do that as well, because that would be weird if the stone ones that have less hair usually because they don't have hair, they have chiseled what resembles hair at
I
best.
mean, at least you can be sure that all of them have a gorgeous chiseled jawline.
I mean, hell yeah, look at that.
Sorry.
Earthen
Terrible
allied
puns,
race.
my job.
Yeah. But there's one allied race. Both factions? Elevate your mounts with dynamic flight. Oh, we get the dragonflight mechanics for all mounts. That is a dream come true.
5
Annoying.
minutes before you started this.
Annoying? Annoying? Oh, that guy got swooshed. This seems to be one of the raids. But you know what's bad? It seems to be we're leaning into the void versus light thing, because that was definitely a light wielder we are fighting. It's like light and shadow fighting over Azeroth, and we're just, no, shush, this is our world.
The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife.
Because that would indicate, like, sure, obviously, like, most of us are not so much into the whole Void idea, because what did the Void do for us again? Oh yeah, a bunch of bullshit. Well, the light was more like the thing that we were the side of, because, well, it just helped us keep alive. It's...
Maybe it's just time to end up telling both sides to stay the frick out of this.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that the light isn't necessarily nice. It's not good. Those are basically just two cosmic forces butting their heads together for ever since existence started. And we're like, go away. This is our world. That would make the most sense to me.
Well,
but also, it seems like we're able to take sides.
I mean, in my opinion, it should be pretty much obvious that the concepts of one side represents the light, the other represents darkness, does in no way necessarily mean that one represents order, the other chaos.
No,
chaos usually happens somewhere.
Order and chaos are two different ends of the spectrum, because we have light, dark, order, chaos.
Precisely.
In World of Warcraft specifically. Also, there's some, like, there's death somewhere here, there's, like, nature somewhere here, and stuff like that.
It's starting to turn into a potentially at least 4-dimensional sphere.
No, we already have it since Legion, like, a big book that says, like, here's all the things, and here's, like, this, and stuff like that, and we already experienced death.
If you try to put all of that into relation to each other, you'd probably end up with
the thing is,
4-dimensional whatever.
The thing is, I always assumed next time we go into any direction of, like, the chart of cosmic energies, we would end up with life, because there was a lot of hints in that direction with the loon and all that. Anyway, let's continue, because this is definitely Knife Waifu. And her design rocks!
And our battle lies steep.
And that is definitely the artifact that Iridicron had. Look at her! That is an eclipsing moon in her eyes. Ah, she's so... There's gonna be a lot of fanboys on her side, I can tell you that much.
Within.
Oh. Okay, there is a deep dive, and I will look at that private, because that's 40 minutes long, and this video is already half an hour. So, I don't know what to say other than I am hyped, and I don't really know what's coming for us, but I really want to know what's coming for us. So, I'm gonna end this video here, and maybe I'll be releasing this video first, and then the rest of the story of Dragonflight, basically one day at a time, because the next patch is coming in 3 days. Who knows? Okay, so I've watched a 40-minute thing. First of all, when I saw the spike coming through the ceiling, my assumption was that's the tip of the sword that's in Xal'atath, because people were looking at the sword and it seems to be something will be happening with the sword lore-wise. Maybe it will kickstart off us into the expansion to travel there or whatever. I don't know. Because the Dragonscale expedition keeps being relevant, which I love. I hope we have some dragon allies. But the thing that, like, they immediately said, oh, it's a crystal that hangs there. I was like, oh, okay. Because, like, as soon as it was mentioned, oh, this is all subterranean, I was like, huh? Is that the tip of the sword then? No, apparently not, maybe. Maybe that's, like, the big twist of it. But apparently, there's so much to talk about and to think about, and Chikaritas' design being close to Xal'atath's new design is a bit interesting. Well, close-ish. Like, there's some elements that are very similar, which is very interesting. There's been so much hype and talk going on between me and my buddy that I forgot half of it, most of it, actually. And, like, the story... Magni Bronzebeard reappearing. Oh, the flashbacks. Xal'atath. Oh, yes! Yes! Xal'atath is such a cool design character. I mean, also, like, Anduin's whole story, Thrall's whole story, and Aleria's whole story. That whole rivalry thing that will be going on there, I'm really curious about that. And, well, the Sword of Xal'atath. The saga is just beginning. They said 3 expansions with a continuous storyline and a new era of how to tell the story in World of Warcraft. I'm excited for that. Then we have Khazalgar, which is like the start section. That's like the upper place with the earthen, and you can unlock them as playable races. That whole dynamic looks super cool. Then we have like the Nerubians getting upgrades through Void.
Now, yeah. Thanks.
He wants that as playable, and I can feel that. It looks very like it would... The thing is, it looks very like, oh, they can make it a playable race. Kind of, maybe, but...
Just look at it.
The thing is...
Make it a warlock. Thanks.
Yeah. Problem is, it might not work that way, armor-wise, depending on how they program the model. One thing I saw was this on the far bottom right. That looks like one of the generals in Ankiraj, and it seems to be based off of that, and that looks so cool. Up there, that looks a little bit like the little guys that we started seeing pop up in, I think it was Battle for Azeroth, those bug guys. It looks all so... And the aesthetic of these places, man. And apparently, like, it goes subterranean from here with, like, cool... this and this entire area. This entire thing screams V-Rising to me, and like the church that you have to fight there as the vampire. And really, as they mentioned it being subterranean, this breaking through like this, my first thought, that's the tip of the sword. That's the tip of the sword that's stuck on Xal'atath. Map-wise, it might even make sense, like from being all across the map, all down there. I just think it makes sense, you know? But I love the, like, goth church aesthetic.
But I mean, we can safely assume that it is very much unrelated to the sword. Because, I mean, that crystal must have been there quite a while. I mean, you don't build stuff like that in a day or two.
I mean, no, but we have seen... them build stuff like this in less time. If you look at Northrend and the towers and towns they built there in a matter of a year. So, like, it's a fantasy world, so
it still is rather unlikely.
It is unlikely, to say the least, but it is unlikely that it's the sword, because the sword happened during Legion, which is canonically like 8 years-ish ago. But it was mentioned that they landed there recently.
Yes, but that crystal appears to be rather uniform in overall shape, which wouldn't exactly fit with a sword tip, you know. With the
It
sword
might
being
be.
generally a bit closer to being, you know, a bit wider in one dimension than the other.
I mean, have you looked at the sword close up? I don't know. My brain went there. I don't think it will be that, because it's spewing out holy light, at least light.
Swords don't exactly have a round tip.
I mean, neither really does this. This is a pointy tip.
That may very well be, but it looks just about that crystal. I mean,
it looks rounded in this dimension. I know what you mean. But anyway, Nerubians. Oh my god. A full zone of Nerubians, which was the original plan back in the day in Wrath of the Lich King. And there are rebels among the Nerubians, which I'm going to assume we can ally with. We have dragon flying, but with every mount. I'm just going to keep my dragon, you know. And I love this behind the scenes look, this transparency behind the scenes look. It just looks so cool. The zones and the dungeons and all that looks cool. I'm still a bit bummed that we just get one raid per expansion, per patch. Apparently still, which sure they can focus on one, but I don't know. I liked the feel of like there's two, at least, raids available from the get-go, from the start. Even if one of them is just a one boss raid or something, I just like the variety in that sense of matter. But that's not the thing. The system overview, extending Dragonflight philosophies, I love it. Evergreen editions, I love it. And the delves seem really interesting, especially because you have an NPC companion. Always love that. The warbands. If this means I have a visible representation of my other characters, even just standing around there, I'm hooked.
that's gonna make the grind so much more rewarding.
Rewarding and way more fun.
And there will be less grind overall.
Yeah, less grind, but better grind. And the thing is, the factions will be all overall. Hazel Paws, okay. Boots the Cat. Mango's Tummy. Floofy Piper. Are these placeholder names? Yeah, UI Badcamming. I think those are placeholder names. It would be so funny if not.
I mean...
Or it's... I don't know what that might be, if anything else. Hero talents, those seem to be like... Back in the day, whenever a new expansion came out, our talent tree would grow. And eventually that got too complicated, so they deleted the talent tree. To everyone's demise. And I think this is basically the extension of that. Like, maybe for each expansion we get a new hero talent thing. Whatever happens after those 3 expansions with the talent tree, I don't know. But it seems to be... Where's the image they showed? It's like a mixture, but it's not enough space for 3. But they can make space for 3 for each of the 3 expansions during this saga. Potentially. And, I mean, hero talents is like, oh, cool. But, like, the warband things of how it was explained, I just love. And, like, the delves are interesting to me just as a surface level thing. But the lore and the deep dive into just the subterranean levels the designs of the zones. It all looks cool. It all looks very World of Warcraft grounded. Like, all of it is connected to things we already knew. It's just a new place of the planet where we just didn't look before or whatever. And it's not like, oh, there has been this huge big secret that was technically part of the world all along, but we only now think of it or whatever. It feels like, yeah, there is this far off place where we just never cared to look. It feels very natural that way.
I mean, also...
Cough, Shadowlands. Cough. It's not like that.
One of the things that made me very happy, because I'm always up for freaking shenanigans, is I don't know which part where exactly it was, but the scaling regarding
the delving, I think the delving it was, where you basically scale with the it scales with your character, the delves, where it's like depending on what group of characters you go into, it scales differently. So you could be a bunch of glass cannon mages in his assumption.
As he worded it, it scales with the number of players and role agnostic, so the roles should not matter whatsoever.
Technically, like you have things to outweigh your weaknesses.
So it should adjust the dungeon to make it possible to work. So going in there with like 4 to 5 just glass cannon mages should be technically doable.
Yep, and if
because
the warbands,
scaling should adjust to that.
The thing is there's one wish.
Shenanigans.
There's one wish I have with the warbands. There's one wish I have with the warbands. You remember Legion? How you had like an NPC that ran along with you in open world content and just, I mean, at the end of the day, was there for visuals. I want that, but with my characters on the other characters from my account. I'm a alt whore, so I want that. Anyway, this is all for this video because this is probably already 40 minutes or an hour long. So, hype. What in the world is going on? Hype. There hasn't been one thing I have a negative reaction to, or even just like the most like close to negative, I would say, reaction I had was probably the hero talents, where it was just like, oh, okay, that's how you keep us leveling, that's how you keep us growing as characters. That's fair, that's fine. You don't want to make the talents longer, you want to have the separate things. That's understandable, in my opinion. Anyway, that all being said, I want to keep this video as short as possible because it's already so long. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will begin uploading probably World of Warcraft videos daily because I'm way behind on content on that, and I want to upload something else than World of Warcraft at some point again. Nothing against World of Warcraft right now because it's currently looking great, but it's like I'm a variety channel, not a World of Warcraft focused channel, so yes. Anyway, I sincerely love all of you guys. We'll see each other in the next video in the stream, and cheerio!